Well, first, I met him in 2002. Basically, I was at a conference, an international conference I was hosted in Cuba on problems of economic development facing countries of the third world. And in the course of that conference, a comment was made that the Cubans didn't like, and I thought was actually historically inaccurate, about Cuba's great role in the contribution to the struggle against apartheid in South Africa. I corrected that mistake by the individual who was presenting, who was an international guest, and the Cubans, being too polite to actually challenge him in the convention center, rewarded me with tremendous, thunderous applause, even though I don't think I'd articulated it as clearly as they could. And later on, I guess Fidel asked to meet with me. And all I remember in the meeting, I spent about, I think, over half an hour with him, and I was speechless. He was incredibly charismatic. He was very attentive, and it was clear he was interested in what I was saying. And I remember him being very impressed that a Canadian was able to make such a statement in defense of Cuba's wonderful internationalist record, particularly in its struggle against racism in Southern Africa. I remember he said the Canadian who made that great comment, who basically has not forgotten the history that Cuba has played in the struggle to liberate Southern Africans, right? So Cuba, as some of your listeners might know, has a very strong and profound history of aiding African national liberation anti-colonial struggles, and the most important being the struggles in Southern Africa, which is why Fidel Castro and Mandela had such a very close relationship, and why Raul Castro was accorded such a prominent position at Nelson Mandela's commemorative activities after he had died in South Africa. So in a sense, I remember him talking about that. The second time I met him was at another conference dealing with issues of social development. And, he was a person who was a profound intellect. Yes, he was a man of action. Yes, he was a political leader, but he was also a theorist. He was also an intellectual. And, of course, that intellectual side of him was what attracted Pierre Elliott Trudeau to him, even though they had ideological differences, profound ideological differences. Pierre Elliott Trudeau and Fidel Castro recognized that they both had very keen intellectual minds.